That's pretty deep what you said, though, Dom.
What if I was gonna have a son? I was gonna name him Cum.
Yeah, because that's what he was.
Because that's what he was.
Oh, wait, how would you spell it, though? I think you can't be too direct, right? You got to
COOM. Cum.
Oh, okay, that's actually kind of...
Like Quom.
Yeah, so child services want to take him away from me.
Did you know that? If you name your child the wrong name, they'll immediately take them away.
If you name them
didn't
Cum.
those assholes name their kid Hitler and they took their kid away from him?
But wasn't that years later? I thought that was after it had happened.
Well, I mean, was he an adult man?
Yeah, well, you can hide your Hitler child away for a couple of years without anyone knowing. It's when you send him to preschool and they're like, Jonathan Hitler? Nah, you can't have that. He can't come here. You know?
I mean, do you guys know that there's
you can suss away a Hitler for a couple of years is all I'm saying.
Do you know that there's one nurse, though, at the hospital that as soon as you name your child, she can say yes or no.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you get 3 strikes, and if you mess up the name 3 times, they take your kid away.
That's crazy.
She's very discerning. And the worst part is her name is just Dolores, which is the worst name.
That's like at every hospital.
Yeah,
Dolores.
it's like a government program. It seems very outdated, but you gotta be careful about naming your kid.
It seems like a lot of schooling. It seems like it's like a divination course that you take.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like a priesthood. It's kind of like that.
What's messed up is that they used to just let the babies grow up feral out in the woods. If you couldn't name them, but now Trump just swallows them.
He comes by as I'm here to eat all the unnamed babies.
He's like, baby.
You can't jail me for it because what's the child's name? No one knows. The child doesn't exist. And so there's parents who are frantically in their waiting rooms going, we got to name the kid quick. He's coming. He's coming to the baby. Quick. Should be John? No.
And Dolores is just
Jim.
sitting there being like, no.
Alfredo.
Alfredo.
I've been playing Overwatch, dudes.
Wait, what? This is a revelation.
I was playing it the other day, and I was like, God, this game's so good.
It's a lot of fun, yeah.
Does anyone know about this game?
Are you guys pulling a goof on me?
Does anyone play it?
You guys are pulling a goof on me right now.
I know. I legitimately, my nephew was over the other day, and I was playing with him, and I was like, fuck, this game's good. Shit.
What? And he was like, oh, man, my uncle plays cool games and he knows good words.
Wait, what does your nephew feel about Overwatch? Does he have a favorite character?
Oh, he's all about it. He's a big, who is he playing as? What's the new robot person?
Oh, Orisa?
Orisa. He's a big Orisa person.
Wait, which one is Orisa?
Orisa is the hottest new character to join Overwatch. It is essentially the story of Big Hero 6 with a girl inventor.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But you play as
dope.
Baymax. Yeah.
And he likes Genji, of course. What kid doesn't like Genji?
Sure, what cool kid doesn't like a cybernetic robot ninja? I was honestly just going to assume he's like, I like Tracer because she's pretty. But I guess cool
He's
things.
not that. He's got 2 more years. He did just draw boobs in class and pass it around, but he's not quite there yet.
Wait, did he tell you about this?
Yeah, he got in trouble for drawing boobs and passing it around class.
Were they attached to anything, or was it just floating boobs?
I didn't get the. I'm gonna imagine it was just floating boobs, but maybe he drew a body.
I think you as an uncle need to step up and go, we need to really work on it. And it's not just orbs, boobs have a natural weight. You need to teach anatomy and drawing and making the king of boob drawing.
Gravity. He'll learn a little bit about gravity from it.
Yeah, exactly.
Aging, biology. You could really learn a lot of the sciences through your drawings of boobs.
And let's start drawing it on pictures of all the presidents in your textbook. It'll be great.
It makes it better.
What a cool Uncle Paul.
Yeah,
I bought it for PlayStation. I'm sorry.
I also have it for both. Chad, do you have it for PlayStation?
I play it on PC. So you should play with me and then sometimes play with Dom.
One of you has to give. Here.
If you guys had Vermintide, I'd be down to play that.
I got Vermintide. Let's play Vermintide.
Okay, we should play Vermintide.
Vermintide is Left 4 Dead with rats.
But better.
These are important ways for us to start our podcast.
Yes, talk about our games.
Talk about our games.
Hold on. I do want to share. Overwatch did me dirty pretty bad this last week.
Oh, why?
What happened?
So Overwatch has a competitive mode that I try not to play too much because I'm a very stressed out person. But I like it a lot. I like a good Roadhog. I like a good Lucio. I like supporting a team.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm
love
into
playing
that.
Lucio.
Right,
It's
Lucio's
it's
fun.
real fun. So I'm usually like a 24 to 2700 SR ranking, which is like
Your
platinum.
other language. Okay, go ahead. Yeah,
Platinum
I
ranking. It's
understand that.
not great. It's not great. Overwatch did me real dirty, and I did placements for this new season where you do 10 games. And it determines your ranking based on magic and a number of factors that everyone has a different opinion on how you get placed. I did.
It smells you.
Yeah, it smells you. It senses what your child's name is. It does a lot of things. And I went the best competitive placement matches I've ever done. 8 wins, 1 tie, and 1 loss. Had some amazing plays. Just like completely like team-wide people as my boy Reinhardt. Felt real good.
Hell yeah.
I dropped 450 points in my placement matches. I'm now bottom gold. Why Overwatch? Why have you done this to me?
The world's getting better around you, Chad. That's the problem.
What? Like that doesn't make any sense.
Chad,
Everyone got better.
They're boiling you like the frog.
Not everybody writes cartoons for a living, dude.
What does that?
Okay?
What do you mean? You're
Some
saying
people play Overwatch a little bit more.
You're saying they've all getting better, and then like my skills were picked up as subpar. Like I'm the old.
Plus, your brain is just slowly dying, and it's imperceptible except for Overwatch lets you kind of see it.
A lot of, I mean, just think about what you were doing when high school ended, and it was the first summer, and you were just like, "Fuck it, man! I'm just gonna play games for the rest of my days."
That was never me,
That's
but
who's
yes.
playing these games, and they're getting pretty good. So I never play competitively any game because I know that to be really good, you have to dedicate a lot of your time, and I just don't have the time to be that competitive.
This is
I just
kind
play
of the
for fun
problem.
with
This is kind of the
with my
problem.
brothers and such.
It is a lot of like any of these games. I'd even say Hearthstone or StarCraft. Any of these games are like, if you have an hour to play, someone has 9 hours to play it, and you just can never reach that. So, like, what's the point?
Dun 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 dun.
Just the most like dark.
That's the biggest goosebump of all.
Cynical thing. Let's talk about being, by the way, in high school with a phantom of a high school.
A terrifying phantom.
A phantom of an auditorium.
Welcome to Goosebuds. I'm one of your hosts, Chad Quant, and I'm here joined by my friends Paul and Dom.
We're the guests.
Hello.
My friends, not guests. You are.
Yeah, well,
you-
we're your friends, but you're the host. We're guests.
That's not true. We are like the big three of either Marvel or DC. Quick, guys, choose your big 3 characters right now. Which ones are you?
Wonder Woman.
Okay. Paul.
The Flash.
Quick lock. That's not one of the big 3.
Yes, he is. If he's not one of the big 3, then BS.
I agree with you. The Flash is cooler, but it's clearly Superman and Batman.
It's clearly he's not on the big 3. Come on.
The Flash.
Oh, okay. Dom is going to be off to the side of the logo as the Flash.
Can I change mine to Plastic Man?
Yes, you can.
Okay. All right. Then fine. Then I'm going Booster Gold, so fine. Whatever.
yeah.
All right, there we go.
The new DC Big 3 coming your way.
I'll watch that movie.
Which one? That was Zack Snyder doing it, where it's like, I don't know what to do with these characters. I guess.
What would Zack Snyder do with Plastic Man?
Something dirty.
You know, at some point, Plastic Man would like suffocate a dude by like going into his lungs. It'd be like this real dark, like he'd stretch and bend in there. He's like, yeah, you know, I'm called plastic, but I'm not nothing. I don't bend at all for injustice.
Yes.
Yeah, and then he like fills the guy's lungs with his like body. And
I wish David Fincher was directing it so we could see him go inside of him.
We did pick 3 jokesters.
We did.
3 guys who'd like to have fun.
You do need some lighthearted comedic stuff in a world full of I can melt the world with I-beams.
Yes.
Okay, so we know who we are in the big 3. I guess we should talk about Phantom of the Opera. Or
I guess.
Auditorium, sorry. Slip of the tongue because it's just Phantom of the Opera.
Whoops. Well, it's the Phantom in their world. In the Goosebumps world, it's just the Phantom. So, you know.
Yeah, also a metaphor for the Phantom console, which, rest in peace.
Definitely.
Guys, here's the thing. This might be the best Goosebump book.
This might be one of the best Goosebump shows, which is what I watched.
Really?
Yeah, I watched it as well because I didn't have the time to read the book this
Okay,
afternoon.
so I'm the book man. You guys are the TV man.
Yeah. So you say it's a great book? I thought the show was great.
Like, it's the least scary book.
Yeah, it's not scary, but it's well put together.
happen. I mean, it's
Yeah.
also just stealing the plot of Phantom of the Opera. So like,
Right.
it whatever. I guess you could just do that, like an actual story.
Yeah, I mean, that happens a lot. I mean, people have told, it's like one of those classic horror tales that you can retell just using different things. But RL just used another Phantom.
I'm just going to take a wild guess. This might be a good TV show because there's nothing to make a bad budget around. There's no like, we need to make a bee monster and we have $50.
Well, the best thing about the show is they film it at this extravagant theater, which is like well beyond the means of any local high school.
Oh,
So it's like the production values are real good because they got a great stage.
well, this is a Canadian high school, right? Like,
Yeah.
so maybe they do have good school systems.
There's great Canadian accents too. How about those, Dom?
They were good. There was a few boots in the beginning.
Few of Boots. The boy
there's
Zeke.
some good ones.
The boy Zeke is definitely French Canadian. He's got some very like I don't know, just French Canadianisms about his.
He's real
fuzz.
French Canadian. And, this episode had probably the most jump scares per minute. I'd
Really?
say. There's like jump scare after jump scare in this episode.
There's one that, Dom, I know exactly what one you're thinking of, where she opens her closet and the checkers board falls down and she closes it and then bam, hits you with another jump scare right
dude,
there.
the fake and the fake, dude.
It's
It
well
gets you.
directed. It's a good
That's
direct.
so weird.
And she screams well. It's a good scream.
Because again, it's like the least. Well, here's the thing. It's the least scary book,
Yeah,
other
so
than the real world fear of it. Maybe we should set the
Right.
scene a little
Tell
bit.
us the story, Chad.
set us up, Chad.
And you guys can please vary up when the TV show goes down to its creative liberties, wherever it is.
Sure.
This is a book also starting with two of the coolest like main characters we've ever had. Brooke and Zeke. They are best friends. And they make it very clear they don't have crushes on each other, which means you are rooting for them to get together.
Yes.
I want to wait for us to be over. Like that's just playing the whole time while you're waiting for them. So you're rooting for them. They love like critter movies. Like they're going to the 3D like horror triple feature. They are into drama. These kids are cool. And also, they're like the most well-known kids in school, despite being the nerds. It's very strange.
Zeke is a classic 3D horror movie fan from the 90s. Name.
Oh yeah, it's very much true. It's like because it's kind of like crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy kid, little kooky, quirky kid. Zeke is the name of the guy from Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Name of the
Who
kid.
wears 3D glasses.
Oh my god, maybe you're onto something there. I mean, so these kids are cool, right? And weirdly enough, they've been in the plays before, but they find out that they have gotten the lead in the new play, which is strange because they have no idea what the play is. They haven't read the script. So I'm a little confused of what the audition
Chad.
was.
Yeah, Chad. Okay, so in the story, we just in the story of the television show, we just open on them in the theater, like sitting around with their like scripts, finding out who they got as their role. But there's no indication. And Dom, correct me if I'm wrong. There's no indication that any of these kids volunteered for this. In fact, a couple of them seem downright against being in it because they're afraid.
Yes. I know that in elementary school, when we did we were old enough to do a play, everyone just got assigned a role.
Yeah.
But these kids were older than that.
Yeah,
I don't
this
know how they
isn't-
do it in Canada, but maybe that's how it goes.
You get drafted by the military to be in
It felt like a play draft. Yeah.
Well, so I will say, I did get drafted into show choir or like Glee Club without ever auditioning for it.
How?
Interesting.
I went to like a meeting to help out with one of the plays and just said like, hey, if anyone needs help, I'll volunteer. And then they're like, hey, can you do like some note bars in front of me? I was like, yeah, I don't know how this had anything to do with me setting up stage lights. And then 2 weeks later, I got a letter saying you've been added to the show choir group. I think they were just desperate for men.
You got vampire, dude. You said
I did.
I will let you in, and then they were like, let's leach this person to death.
And they brought they brought the sequin vest in that I had to wear for a whole year.
I
It
like
was
to
real
imagine
great.
that they were like, Chad. I mean, it's already ridiculous that it happened. They were like, Chad, would you just sing for me? And you were like, oh, okay.
And it wasn't even that good. It was mostly just sounds.
My favorite part is that you're just such a nice guy that it happened.
I know. If people in the street, if you see me, I'm just going to start belting out bad notes. So this is a thing that I guess can happen. It is strange because Brooke and Zeke are both shocked to find that they have the leads in the play.
Yeah.
And they know it's called like The Phantom, but they know nothing about it. But simultaneously, they're warned that there is a well-known curse of a play called The Phantom. And this is like super meta. So basically we have this book is inspired by Phantom of the Opera, but in the book there's another play called, this is going to sound really dumb. I don't know if that's the setup of Phantom of the Opera, that it's also about a play called The Phantom, but it's a play called The Phantom that a boy found 70 years ago, found it locked in the basement of the school. They said, sure, we'll make this play one random story you found.
Oh, that's even creepier. Wow.
That's weird, right? So like that, what is that? Did the devil write it? And then
shit, yeah.
They make this play, and the boy gets cast as the lead, which maybe means he was just trying to like make a play that he wanted to be the star of.
Yeah.
And then he dies, or no, well, spoilers. He dies. He's never seen ever again. He's disappeared. The police are called. The parents are worried. Well, the play's canceled. We'll never do that play ever again. We're burning all copies of the play.
It's like the cake that was left out in the rain.
Are you referencing MacArthur Park, the song?
Yeah. I'll never have that recipe again.
That's not where my brain went, but I appreciate it. So that's the history of this play, right? They have not touched it since. It's a like legend in the school. But this teacher says, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to do it. We're going to do the play. Also, that might just be a legend, which is weird because, like, that's a thing you would be able to see on, like, a police report, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
They had police 70 years ago
Right.
and, like, paper. So somewhere there would be a newspaper or report that says, like, boy missing, town searches everywhere, play canceled. But everyone's like, I don't know if it's true or not. So whatever. No respect for this possibly.
Right.
The family's probably still alive. No respect for them. Let's just do this play.
That's a thing in this one, in the show, is they start off by one of the understudy for the main girl who's going to play Esmeralda is like, this is a cursed one. I don't want to do it. She's one of the reluctant draftees.
Oh, yes. So this girl's weird. Okay.
Yeah, and she's like, my grandfather 72 years ago was in this play, and a kid died for the same shit. So, like, there's an obvious history in this town with this play.
Yes. Okay. So here's the weird part too. Is so Tina is a non-factor in this entire story, but she keeps popping up, and how she's like jealous of Brooke.
Yeah.
So she's clearly like the rival, but there's no threat to her whatsoever. And she's like, I'm your understudy. So it's not even that like Brooke is the understudy trying to rise to the ranks, or Zeke is wanting to get the part. They just immediately have it. And Tina's just like, I don't know, my grandfather saw a kid die here. You guys probably shouldn't do it, but ignore me. And then there's no reveal with her. She is not important to the story whatsoever.
She's just a red herring.
She's a red herring. There's a lot of red herrings.
There's a lot in the show, especially. They use her one time to make it appear that she did something, but it's just like a one real like subtle thing, and it's not subtle in any way, but it's one real small thing.
She winks at the camera.
It's not me, wink. Who are you winking at? There's literally no one here. Not, I don't know, maybe the Phantom, but it wouldn't be because I'm him. Wink. No,
Whoops.
I mean, to the book's credit, there's a lot of like misdirects. They're actually trying to kind of fake you out, I guess, hoping you're a savvy reader. Someone that wasn't RL wrote this.
I hope that. Oh, okay. That's
I'm
a
just
big.
throwing this out there. Someone who wasn't RL wrote this book.
Or RL concentrated in on this one. This was a passion project for him.
Yeah, maybe he wrote like, 20-something books, and then he was like, all right, I've done enough. I've gotten good. Now I'm going to write a fucking good one. And he busted this one out.
You think so? Maybe he just loves Phantom of the Opera. But it's weird that it's a made-up play called Phantom. And I also kept the whole time thinking it was that 90s movie with Billy Zane called Phantom.
Ha!
It's like the comic one
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
based on
God.
the comic you always tried to go.
that you passed over.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, you always passed over it. I may have talked about Chad about this, but like you're like, all right, I'm gonna start reading The Phantom, and like you'd read it for 2 weeks and be like, what the fuck is going on?
That one and like that the King Arthur one too. I would always try to get into.
I mean, this is like, what else would come out of this point? Like the first Batman and Robin, and here's Billy Zane in a skin tight, like pink bodysuit with muscles painted on, and he has
It's purple.
They were like,
Okay.
this guy got a little Titanic on him. Let's put him in a movie.
He was the guy who hit a woman in Titanic. Kids love him. He's got 2 guns. And
I would imagine that they named the play The Phantom as to not confuse children, right?
What do you mean?
Because if it was called something else, like it is in Phantom of the Opera,
Oh, right.
it would just be confusing.
I guess.
That makes sense.
And then you could have kids switch around and then the real Phantom appear and no one know, which is something that happens in the show. And I'm sure it happens in the book. But why don't you go on, Chad? Keep telling us.
All right, so let's keep going through this weird story. So Brooke and Zeke are killing it in the play. Boy, they're having fun. At one point, as the teacher, I believe her name is Miss Walker, who's just nut bar in this whole thing, is telling the class about the whole rumor and the ghost, and let's not worry about it. Zeke pulls a little prank where he pulls out a mask of a phantom and scares everyone.
Uh-huh.
And Brooke says, quote, not only did he do a really good job, but just that Zeke has a phantom mask in case he ever needs one. What? Like, so as dumb as that is, I guess that's a misdirect that maybe Zeke is the phantom. I don't know. Like, everyone could be the phantom. Everyone could be it.
But all signs are pointing towards Zeke right now.
It's a weird story. There's so many times where they're like, it's a well-known story. There's a quote from, I think, Tina. Tina's the girl rival, right?
Yeah.
Whatever her name is. She's
Sure,
like,
I don't remember her name,
The
but
Phantom
yeah.
has been haunting the school for over 70 years, but no one has ever seen him. What? That means no one's haunted the school.
Yeah, no one's ever seen him, yeah.
If you haven't seen a ghost, there's no unless all potential ghosts, it's like Schrodinger's cat.
Oh, you're freaking me out now, man. You're making me
That
think.
means
If
you don't see a ghost, then there's a ghost there.
Maybe the ghost is inside our minds the whole time. And you don't need to see a ghost to feel a ghost or hear a ghost or smell a ghost.
This is
Guys,
getting way
real
too
quick.
existential.
Real quick,
Let's cut to the creamy center.
hold on. I need to admit something real quick. I did have a replica ring of the Phantom that I wore for 4 years as a kid.
Wait, the purple Phantom?
Never saw it in the movie. Yep.
Yeah, that you got from 7-Eleven for buying a Slurpee. I know.
Yeah, I wore it. I thought it was real cool, and I tried to make it cool. And boy, oh boy, was I not cool.
I mean, I would have thought you were cool because I wanted one of those so bad because it was like a skull ring. I was like, yeah, I want that. So I finally get to 7-Eleven. They don't have any more.
Because I bought all of them.
I'm a little boy. I'm sad. They don't have any more rings.
God, you guys are separated by like a wide expanse of space, but you would have been best friends. It's real sad.
Here's the kicker.
Yeah.
4th grade, we had a teacher's assistant who was an older woman who did not like me for whatever reason. And there was one of those rings in the lost and found. And so I talked to my teacher, Mrs. Barish, and
I'm putting her on blast.
and I said, hey, I really want that ring. If nobody claims it, can I have it at the end of the year? And she was like, yeah, you can have that at the end of the year. If nobody claims it, then yeah, sure. So sure enough, it's like 2 days until it's our last day. So I came up and I was like, hey, can I have that ring? 'Cause,
You've been thinking about it every day.
Yeah, I've been waiting. I wanted that skull ring. And the teacher's assistant, who I can't remember her name, oh, maybe it was like Miss Hook or something. But she was like,
hold on, I'm sorry, Miss Hook?
yeah, her name was like Hook or something. I remember. But she was like, oh, I threw that out. And I was like,
No.
I was so mad. I've been thinking about this Phantom ring forever. I still don't have one.
You know how that story ended, by the way, too, right? It's like later that night, she was going to her car in the parking lot, and you showed up on a horse in a purple spandex outfit, and you went, I want my ring. And then you pulled out 2 super soaker guns and just laid into her.
I shot her with a gun, and I'll say, I'll be back next week and see if you died or not.
I'll be expecting my ring.
Anyway, yeah.
dude,
So I
think
didn't
about-
see the movie either, but I wanted it. But go on.
Think about being a teacher like that or a teacher's assistant and just hating a kid so bad that you ruined their year. You ruined your year for you, Dom.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I still was a child, so I guess it got better for me. I mean, she's she's kind of the sad one, right?
Well, you know
That's what I'm saying. It's sad.
You know what
Yeah.
I think? I think she took that goddamn ring.
I think she did.
Probably.
I think she's like, I don't have it anymore. And as you turned, she cut like close on her hand, and she palms the ring, and she grows in power.
Her eyes go purple.
I think she said it to her nephew Chad in Indiana.
Oh, I wish. I actually have no idea how I got the ring. I think I got it from 7-Eleven. Maybe it was just fated to me. Either way, definitely chubby Chad did not make that ring work for him. No girls thought he was brave or dashing with a skull ring that was clearly $2. So the play is going on. The play is called The Phantom. And more like slight accidents happen. This isn't like anyone's life's really in danger. It's mostly vandalism.
Right.
Okay, well, there's a big moment that happens in the book where they're rehearsing in the show where they're rehearsing the play, and suddenly a door falls from the ceiling, and it's got something written on it. Do you remember what it says, Paul?
It's like stop it.
Stop doing the play. Yeah, it says stop doing the play
they
or something.
Both stop and stop it again.
They're not eloquent. This Phantom's not very eloquent.
But it's written in blood, or so we think. And then we follow footsteps back to Zeke's locker, dude.
Yes, this house
and there's
in the
a
book.
bucket in there.
So Zeke got framed as well in the book as well. I will say before that, just want to point out that was probably the most dangerous thing that happened. I don't think a door fell. I don't remember a door falling. It was just like, oh, hey, there's like stuff written all over the stage, and there's multiple things. Like at one point, I think like a note was left on Zeke's locker that was like, "Stay away from my home, sweet home." But like they said, it was written in red crayon, which is strange because that's not scary.
No, it's like very childlike and wonderful.
But there was a can of paint that was like, "Stop doing the play." I'm blanking on the phrase. It was definitely like, Stop it. Yeah. So now all signs point to Zeke. But before that, I just want to point out that like there is one other dangerous thing, which is where Miss Walker, as she's telling the story, suddenly disappears, and they're like, oh no, a ghost got her, I guess. And she's like, no, I'm down here. Real life danger. She fell down a open trapdoor, right? So she's like, oh, I didn't realize I had opened it. I forgot I had opened this. Oh, yeah, they built this trapdoor 70 years ago for the play that they canceled and have never used it ever again.
Yeah, is it an elevator or is it just a door?
It's like one of those like a magician doors where
stage door, stage trap door, yeah.
Because in the show, it's like a mechanical like a freight elevator almost.
Oh.
I think that's how they all work.
That must have been for safety's sake. In the book, it kind of just read more like, oh, this is wood and some ropes. Like it just felt a little bit more. Kids shouldn't be on this.
Right. This was definitely like a modern elevator.
You know, they just had an elevator and just shot that.
Well, that's why the theater that they shot in was so big. It's because they had to find a theater that had a working elevator door like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was impressive.
Like, we're going to use this death trap for you guys during the play. No one else can use it. So there's like a little bit of danger, and the teacher falls down it. But that's about it.
So let me ask this:
yes.
one of the big jumps or like jump scares, so to speak, in this episode is they stay after a rehearsal, and they're like, "Let's go explore that trap door," and they go down into the trap door, and they're like fooling around down there. A rat flings itself at Zeke.
What do you mean?
It's pretty crazy. It jumps at Zeke.
He's got a little Phantom mask on, too.
Yeah, it's real creepy. He dances off.
I don't remember a rat. I don't.
So that happens, and then they're tooling around down there, and a man comes up to them and scares them and says, "I'm the night janitor, Emil," and then scares them off and is like, "Get out of here!" And
wait, he's downstairs in the tunnel when they go down.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Right?
Just
or no,
that's a minor
I think
difference. In the book, they like go down. It gets like halfway down. They kind of spook, and they go back upstairs.
That's what happens. Actually, you're right.
And then there's a man just saying, "I'm the night janitor." He has like a scar on his face. So like, do you get it? It's the Phantom. Like, because he's disfigured. Yeah. But they're like the night janitor, and then they like, oh yeah, we don't have a night janitor after he like tells them to leave.
Right.
Which is
the next day they go to school and they see the day janitor and they're like, "Can you tell Emil to fix this?" And he's like, "We don't have that."
Now that's genuinely scary. Phantom aside, a man, not like a child, a man, like wandering to school at night is genuinely scary.
Right.
Yes, that's what happens next in that frightening storyline is that they find that.
How far are you going?
I mean, I'm just cutting to the chase here.
No, there's some more details we got to talk about.
Let's do some details before that, Dom, because I know where you're going.
I know. I want to talk about this too. A few more details I was going to point out is, so then they come back and there's suddenly a new boy there. And he's like, oh, hi, my name's Brian. I'm nondescript, but also I'm now a character in this book. Don't worry about me. I'm from Indiana.
Is he from Indiana?
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, Indiana.
In the show, he says, I came from up north, which is something that no child ever says.
Weird. To the Canadians, why would they say north of all locations?
Well, the show doesn't take place in Canada. It's, it could be anywhere.
I guess. I mean, unless he means from heaven.
Hey, hold on. All right, we're getting too far ahead. The best part about it is the kid who plays him is the kid from Donnie Darko who goes, "Go back to China, bitch."
Wait, really?
Whoa,
that's what he says in the movie.
Why do those kids exist in Donnie? Donnie Darko's kind of a movie that doesn't make any sense. Why do those kids exist in that movie?
No, but that's just a mean racist kid in it.
You know who's also in it? His best friend? Or no, sorry, there's also the bullies.
Yes.
One, Seth Rogen.
Wait, Seth Rogen was in that?
This has been my favorite thing about Seth Rogen's entire career. By the way, I will argue Donnie Darko's not a good movie when you see every other movie that director's ever made. He doesn't know what he's doing. There's two mean bullies that try to fight Donnie Darko in the bathroom and hold a knife to his neck. Yeah. One of them is played by Seth Rogen.
Holy shit,
and
it is.
He delivers the worst line I've ever seen acted in a movie ever, which is when the girl's giving a presentation and then Seth Rogen goes, but didn't your mom kill herself and stuff?
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm like, there's no way that Seth Rogen thought that was a good delivery of that line. And now he's a super, super rich entertainer. He's doing great. Anyway.
He shouldn't want to say anything bad about Seth Rogen.
He might take me down. He has sausage party money now. He might take me down. Listen, he
might make a movie about assassinating you.
that gets closed by Sony, and then there's a big deal about it, and then it finally gets released, and it's not even that good.
Yeah, and then you can't even hack him.
That whole movie is just Katy Perry jokes. Anyway, all right, so. So before we get to the big reveal, there's a few more things happening so they found out there's a night janitor just wandering the hallways. A full police investigation should be called, right? They should have told people. They should have had people investigate. They decide to go in for
This is the first time they dropped the ball on the mystery man that lives in the school.
Yeah, there's a lot of times the cops should have been called because this is a real threat. They then it wasn't even a ghost man. It was just a guy. A guy who was the janitor. If he'd appeared as a specter, I'd get why they wouldn't want to tell someone. But just a dude.
No, he was a real threatening man. Yeah.
Yeah. So then again, and the Phantom keeps popping up, and they keep thinking they're seeing him, and they're like, we need to go and look for this guy again. And they're like, Brian, you are our new friend. You're really not any details about you at all. We should go and sneak back into the school once again. And they go back down the drop again, right?
Yep.
So as they're trying to go down there, they're going through the tunnels, and they find a actual small cavern room in the tunnels, which is insane. And it's a fully stocked room, which is again a metaphor for Phantom of the Opera, right? He lived in the theater and had a secret place where he played organs. This is just a man's home.
Yeah, in the show, it's a little room that the man lives in, right, Dom?
Yes, it's just. Let's just call it what it is—a JO dungeon.
In my mind, it sounded really cozy, but if you're going to JO, you do want it to be cozy.
That's what it is. It looked soiled.
I'm sure. If you're living down there,
everything looked soiled.
It was like a Yoda cove, like a little Yoda home that he had for himself.
It looked like a homeless man's shanty living room.
Really?
Yeah, Yoda
home. I was picturing it as really nice. I was referencing the great Brendan Fraser movie With Honors, where Joe Pesci plays a homeless, brilliant man living in the basement of a university. Great movie. Really, really
fuck,
good.
I don't know that. I don't know that at all.
Yeah, dude. And then he's burning his freaking thesis.
Oh, yeah. So the whole plot of With Honors is Joe Pesci has Brendan. It's such a 90s movie that would never exist anymore. He has a copy of Brendan Fraser's thesis statement, and he's like, I'm going to burn your only copy of your thesis statement because you don't back up files in the 90s.
Right, yeah.
Unless you take care of me, I guess. So there's like this weird reluctant thing. And at one point, Brendan Fraser holds Joe Pesci as he's crying and goes, "You're not a dog. You're not a dog." And it's really sad.
I got to see this. Okay.
Anyway, so he's basically Joe Pesci in the basement, right?
Yep.
And you turn out, you open the door, and it's Emil. And he just reveals, oh, yeah, I'm a homeless person.
Yep.
I'm a homeless person.
And then in the show, what's great is he chases her down. He's dressed as the Phantom for some reason, even though he's just a homeless person. He decided to dress up as the Phantom because that'll solve the thing.
Wait, with a trash mask.
With a trash mask.
Wait. In the show, Emil was dressed up as the Phantom?
He dresses up as the Phantom and he chases them out.
I don't think that was in the book.
Yeah, he chases them out, and then he gets up to he catches what's the main girl's name? Esmeralda,
Brooke?
whoever's playing. What's that?
Brooke.
Okay, Brooke. He catches Brooke and he looks her in the face and he's like, "Bleh!" And then like she's like, and she grabs his mask and pulls it off, and he gets shocked and doesn't know how to react to this because I guess he didn't plan for that part of his attack. And then she steps on his foot and he's like, "Ow, ow, ow!" And then like they get away from him, and then they're safe, and the principal shows up and the theater teacher shows up. And they're like, yeah, there was a homeless guy living down there. That's weird. And
Wait,
then,
that's that's
and
interesting.
and then they move on from it.
What? All right, so here's the difference, and that's very interesting, is I don't think they ever mentioned that Emil is like dressed like the Phantom. He just said, I've been living down here. I lost my home. So you kind of feel bad for him, right? Yeah. And his father worked for the school, so he's like, his whole life is revealed around this school that like took his family from him.
There's no backstory for Emil in this. He's just a homeless guy that lives down there, and they ruin his life.
Interesting. I mean, I guess they ruined this guy's life, too. And he's like, oh, I just saw you guys were getting closer and closer by messing with the trapdoor that, again, has not been used for 70 years. That's crazy. So he's like, I just wanted to start scaring you guys off with the warnings, which is the whole, like, get away from my home, sweet home. Very, very, very on the nose. A homeless person is living there. Mm-hmm. But it has my favorite detail of the whole book, which is when they go down there, they're, like, investigating, and they're like, oh, this bowl of cornflakes, it's not soggy yet. He must have recently been here. which is like the metaphor for every like detective novel where they find like a still burning cigarette like lit in the room. Like, the meal's still warm. It's great. It's such a great
that's a great translation.
Oh, it's so good.
Kid knowledge.
It was a great kid version of doing a detective story, I guess, or a mystery, right?
Yeah, that's hilarious.
So my favorite part is they escape Emil, and he like kind of threatens them. He doesn't say like I'm going to kill you, just as like you guys should have been investigating. And they run. Would he have killed them? I don't know. I guess
that's
maybe.
What I was thinking too. When he catches her in the show, and then she rips his mask off, he kind of freezes. And I think at that moment that Emil was like, "Fuck, I got to kill this girl if I want to keep going with this." And then he just let her. And then she
secret
escapes.
home. It's the only school he can possibly sneak into and secretly live.
Yeah, definitely.
I will say, by the way, this is a real fear of mine. Like, people living in your house without you knowing is super scary.
Yeah.
And
I've heard some spooky stories that go like that, you know?
Yeah. There's like footage. I remember thinking maybe it was fake as how scary it was, but there's like a footage of a New York apartment where a guy was noticing that his like milk was slowly going down without him drinking it. And he put a camera up, like hidden in his kitchen, and then at night saw an old lady, like at 3 a.m. There's basically he had a cubby hole that was like up in the ceiling. Again, this is like an apartment complex, so it's like not at the ground level. And this old lady like would climb out and very slowly descend all of this furniture to get down to the floor, and just like quietly eat his food and then watch TV for a couple hours, and then go back up and live in the hole.
Oh my God,
that's terrifying.
Humans are horrible creatures. You think rats are bad?
I mean, props to her for how long she did that. But again, so this is a real scary idea. My other favorite detail of Emil is they tell the cop and the teacher, like, oh, there was a man, he threatened to kill us. They go down there, they find the hidey hole, so they believe the kids, but they notice that the cornflakes are gone, which means Emil took the cornflakes.
Of course,
Yeah, he's homeless. What's he gonna eat?
I'm just like, out of
Guy's gotta
everything
eat.
he's going to take, he's like, I got to take this bowl of cornflakes. You can't stop. Oh.
Phantom's gotta eat.
Once you pop, you can't stop cornflakes. So, yeah, I think we're kind of on par with the TV show. A little bit of
they're pretty
who's
close,
responsible, right? So now we know that there is a man who's been living in this school. An investigation should happen. Someone should get fired.
They should follow through on this. Yeah.
They should follow through on it. Have any kids gone missing? We should talk about it. But the play's got to go on, so let's just move on to the play.
Considering one child did die and go missing, probably should check in on this.
Maybe we should follow into that. Considering he mentioned his dad used to work there, there's a history. No, but like, hey, you know what, Zeke? We were wrong about you. You didn't vandalize the school. You got your part back. You can be the Phantom again. Just cancel the thing. But everyone's really excited for the play, and it's now the night of the play, and everyone's getting really into it. And Brooke's full costume. And Zeke in costume as the Phantom shows up. And now this part's weird to me. They mentioned he looks very impressive. And she's like, good luck, man. And he bows to her much like a milady in my head. I think like he would just would have tipped his fedora. And she's like, I don't know if that's Zeke. That's really weird. And they start going through the play. And like she's like, like the Phantom's like killing the acting. She goes, I don't think that's Zeke.
Well, because Zeke through the whole show, too, is kind of like a goofball, always like joking on her and stuff like that.
But isn't the Phantom, maybe the TV show's different, isn't the Phantom mask half a face?
I can't remember, Dom. Do you remember?
Yeah, it's half a face, but I mean, in Phantom of the Opera, in the show, it's a full mask.
It's a pretty full mask. Yeah, I think it's like a good covering of his face.
Okay, so it's more like the Gladiator mask from Gladiator. Or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess
like
I can
that,
see how maybe your face would be obscured. I didn't understand how she didn't know it wasn't Zeke. But I guess if it's a full mask, I get it.
Yeah.
So while they're on stage and everyone's loving it, and Zeke, a.k.a. the real Phantom, or not, it's not Zeke, sorry. And the Phantom, not Zeke, rises from the trap door, and the crowd's loving it. Brooke, as Esmeralda, decides to ask the Phantom a question, and he just goes off script and starts telling this wild story about how he is the Phantom. And
it's called a monologue. It's called a monologue.
Oh, okay. Excuse me.
Or an aside.
An aside. A tall tale, if you will, about how he is the Phantom and that he died on opening night of the play 70 years ago. He is the boy that died. And he has been haunting the stage ever since, awaiting for the chance to play the role. Again, has not been haunting if no one's seen him for 70 years. You've been a bad ghost.
Right. Lazy ghost, yeah.
Or a polite ghost.
But again, maybe polite. He's just waiting for his moment, just patiently waiting. And it pulls a page from one of my favorite things for like kids horror comedy where it's all happening in front of a live audience or adults, and they all think it's all for show.
Yeah.
So, like, the adults are like, this is crazy. This scene is great. What a great take on the story. We have no context for this story because it's an original tale, I guess.
Right.
And Brooke decides to snatch the mask off the Phantom's face, which is kind of a bad call to ruin the play. Like, right?
Hey, if you're going to go off book, try and yes and a little bit.
I guess you're worried about what happened to your friend Zeke, but also maybe wait till the curtain drops and then do it.
Right.
But so she snatches the mask off, ruining the show, really unprofessional, and he covers his face, and due to a spotlight on them, she can't see his face.
Yep.
But I guess no one in the audience can either. It's very strange that they decide not to reveal what his face looks like because it doesn't sound like he's horrifying. It sounds like he just unless he fell on his face as a boy in that trapdoor, like he's fine.
Yeah,
but whatever.
He didn't die ugly. Yeah,
he didn't die ugly. He died a handsome boy.
Right.
Clearly smooth as fuck. He is also unable to see because the light is hitting his eyes. Again, he's a ghost. So
we're dealing with some ghost physics here.
Sure. He's like,
he has materialized, though. I mean, she just snatched a mask from him. So
theory, he's not a ghost, but he is he's an 80-year-old man.
Well, let's finish what happened.
Okay,
right?
well, I'm just going to throw that out there. Like, he's now an 80-year-old man. He stumbles back, And
he's not 80 years old though.
No,
because he
not.
snatches the mask.
I'm just pitching it.
Okay, yeah, let's tell the story.
Oh.
Because I don't want to screw this up, man, because it's an awesome part.
It's pretty great.
Of the show.
It's pretty great. Okay, so the Phantom's like, oh no, my face, my one weakness. And he walks backwards, covering his face, into the same trap door that he died in as a boy.
Yep.
Goes to the darkness. Brooke runs over, and the audience is like, wow, a child died. What a great story.
Yeah.
And they're like loving it. Going applause. Zeke, the curtain falls down, and Zeke's like, hey, what happened? I got knocked out by the Phantom. So like a real physical person, not a ghost, not a ghost thing.
Right.
But Zeke's like, I got knocked out, and someone took all my clothes. I guess he wanted to play the Phantom. Again, I don't know why he needs clothes. Whatever. They look down the hole, and the Phantom is nowhere to be found. He's gone.
Yep.
Right? That's how it happens in the show?
Well, in the show, it's a little different. We see more of the action. We see Zeke down under the stage, and then he gets knocked out. Right, Dom? And then, Dom, you can finish it off.
Yeah, he's getting a little nervous. He's calming himself down, and then he's taken away. Like a hand comes out and grabs his face.
Oh, that's scary.
Classic Phantom style. That happens a lot in this episode.
So finally, the trapdoor comes up, and there's the Phantom, and Esmeralda or Brooke looks into his eyes. She's a little suspicious of who this is, so she looks into the Phantom's eyes and sees the fires of hell inside the mask.
Yeah, dude, he's got fire eyes, dude. It's cool.
He's got fire eyes. So he delivers his monologue or whatever it is, and she snatches the mask from him. We see his face for a brief moment. He falls into the pit. The crowd goes wild. And then the trapdoor comes up after the curtain closes, and there's Zeke, and under his head is a yearbook from 1920 something, whatever year.
So he fell on the yearbook.
He got
hit with the yearbook.
Maybe.
How poetic.
And then she's like, "Oh my gosh, look at the play." I guess they still put the play in the yearbook, even though a boy died and went missing.
It feels very disrespectful to the family of the play, like the boy who died.
Yep.
Yes, and so there it is. It's Brian, the boy who showed up, and they're like, "OMG!"
And then that happens at the end of the episode, and then I laughed because I realized these kids have their little moment, but still, throughout this all, a poor homeless man's life was ruined, and we just threw that to the side.
Yeah, essentially a ghost and some kids snooping around ruined a nice thing going. Also, it seems like Emil was maybe cleaning the school for free.
I think he was at night doing some work to like pay his dues.
Yeah, a moral debt to pay.
Yeah.
That's exactly how the book ends with, like, they look at the book and it was Brian. So, other than the twist, why would Brian do what he did? So, like, he suddenly joins the school as the kids get closer, right?
Uh-huh.
To, like, keep them off the scent, to get them further into it. Like, from a ghost motivation, why would Brian even do that?
Yeah, why not just wait and do your mugging the night of the play like you want to?
Yeah. I can see
if you're the ghost of a little boy and you're going to materialize, why don't you spend a couple days being a little boy before you try to spook people?
That's a nice way to look at it.
Now
Dom.
this is going to sound.
Right? I mean, he died.
This is going to sound like weird, but as I'm pulling as someone who hasn't seen Phantom of the Opera in like 15 years. Didn't the Phantom have like a thing for the girl, right? Like he had loved her because the original story was
and there's a little hint, there's a little subtle thing in the show. It's very subtle that he kind of might have a crush on Brooke.
Okay, that's
very subtle.
That's interesting, and they talk about how like the original story of the Phantom was about a like scarred man who had a love for the woman, and and he died, which I believe is just the plot of Phantom of the Opera. So they're just doing that as if they couldn't get the rights. So right,
the version of Phantom that I've seen. Well, why don't you tell your story and then I'll just talk about.
I'm just totally pulling out of my ass. Like, but if you're going to do the thing where the Phantom has a thing for the girl. It actually could have been really cool if Brian had like shown up as a boy in school to like flirt with her, like kind of like oh, I'm the new boy, and maybe we should do something sometime. So he is a boy ghost, is essentially trying to get some during his brief time physically back on Earth or whatever. And that would be like the metaphor, and also spooky because maybe she's like, I kissed him or something.
See,
and
that makes a lot of sense. I feel like when I was watching the show, they weren't showing the school, and I was like, oh well, they're just trying to like save money here. So I assume that's why.
They can't get that many kid actors all in one. Yeah, that would be a nightmare. Dom, what do you remember different from Phantom of the Opera?
So the Phantom of the Opera, the Lon Chaney version that I'd seen, the Phantom has his own booth at the fucking Playhouse, and
what?
Yeah, he's like he loves the theater. He's just like this mysterious theater lover, and he has his own booth or whatever, and an understudy, I believe, comes in and plays the part of Esmeralda. And he is so in love with this woman because he loves her performance and probably other things about her. And he threatens the theater. He's like, she will play the part of Esmeralda. The main actress will no longer do it. And if she reprises her role, she will die.
Whoa!
And she does die. And
holy shit, he kills a lady.
Yes, I believe so. And
when he doesn't kill the understudy, right? He kills the other lady.
Yeah, he kills the other lady. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's the understudy that he likes. Anyway, it's some combination of that. And then he for the rest of the movie he kidnaps her and tries to make her his wife. He also shows up to a ball dressed as the Mask of Red Death from that Poe story, I believe.
I like that. I mean, that's dark. And also, a lot of guilt on your performance to be like, I didn't even want to be the main lead, and now a woman's dead. I guess I'll act out the hell out of this role.
Right.
Yeah. Right? Oh my God, that's some guilt, man.
That's heavy.
That's dark.
It's very heavy. So interesting. Okay.
I'm still stuck on this homeless guy whose life they ruined. That's all I'm saying.
Did they ruin his life? Did he move on to a better theater?
I mean, he got away. He got a bowl of cornflakes. That'll last him at least like, I don't know, a day.
That'll give him like a couple hours of energy.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
He had a whole cafeteria to raid, and he took cornflix.
Oh, I didn't even think about he was taking food from the cafeteria.
At least grab some Apple Jacks, baby. Some Fruit Loops.
couple puddings.
Couple puds.
Yeah, this is before the school board cracked down on like sugary cereals. I get that.
We grew up in that time.
Yeah, and
we were like, they were like, we can. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but the schools I went to, they each sold their cafeterias to a company.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Who came in and just like were like, here's sugar and carbs, you little boys.
It was a golden age to eat, Dom.
It was. You get burgers and fries. I remember one time it was Taco Tuesday, and they ran out of nachos, so they just gave us Doritos nachos. They gave us Doritos and put cheese on it.
I'm sure to all you guys that was the best day in the world.
Yeah, it was kind of dope.
That's awesome. Okay, so I don't know how else I'd improve the story. By the way, it's pretty good.
I think it's a good one. I really do.
It's a good one.
We finished the episode. I was watching it with Jen, and I laughed because of the homeless guy thing. Because I thought that really it tickled me. It tickled me that their little like child world ended, like their story ended, but that man was out there suffering still, and it was irrelevant to their little child minds.
They went snooping for a ghost, ruined a man's life, conjured a real ghost, and sent him back to hell.
Yeah,
they should have maybe
two beings' lives.
They should have maybe ended it with him going, like the end of the book going, and then Emil was there outside my house saying "blood for blood" or something.
Blood for blood,
blood for blood, and that's the whole thing.
No, he burns down Brooke's home, and he goes, "A home for a home," and he burns her house down with her dog in it.
Yeah. Also, where is he going to keep milk? Does he have a refrigerator down there? Why was that a clue? They were like, It's not. They're not soggy.
I
He's
assumed,
he's deep in the ground.
No, guys, he had a whole bachelor pad thing going.
Oh,
Clearly had a
Okay.
whole. I think for sure.
It was a cozy J.O. hut, for sure.
J.O. Hut.
I think there's at least some basic level of like this guy, he's stolen stuff over the top, like the years. A teacher's like, "What happened to my projector?" And next thing you know, like, he's created a cool little pad. He had like 50 plus years essentially to store this place up. I think he did just fine.
So what do
Yeah.
you guys give this 2 bumps up?
This gets a solid 2 bumps. I really liked this book.
Yeah.
This gets 4 spooky bones from me.
Wow, that's a lot of bones there, Betty.
What do you think is the spookiest bone in your body?
Oh, dude.
Neck bone.
Ooh, yeah, it's
That
ooh,
collarbone
yeah.
where you just feel like it could break at any moment. I think about that a lot.
Dude, what
Yeah,
a toe bone?
Toes don't have bones.
Yes, they
toe
do.
joint.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yes, they do.
No,
Yeah, they're little bones.
I guess I thought they were just squishy pudge.
Maybe your toes are. Maybe you don't have toe bones. Maybe. I don't know.
You might have
It's
figured
just
me out.
suet. It's just suet. It's just like thick fat, hard fat.
Oh man, this is why I don't have an entry on eCeleb WikiFeet, which is the thing. Yeah, I don't know. I actually, the more I kept reading this, I know again it's just an adaptation of a famous story. I just wish all the Goosebump books had kept more of this like high school, middle school kids using their resources and what they have available to them to like figure out the mystery or stop the ghost or like whatever, as opposed to, I don't know, we're just on a random beach and there's a ghost here and I guess he wants to go into a cave. I don't know. Like it felt like these kids had agency in their actions.
Well,
Yeah.
Chad, I think what you're talking about is you want to watch a little show called Erie, Indiana.
Ah, dude, yes.
We got to do that. We have to do that for one of these.
By the way, speaking of watching something on Netflix, you guys need to watch out Camp Goosebuds, our Patreon bonus.
Yeah, we got to do a new one.
We got to do a new one. You guys will be able to vote for that on our Patreon page.
Let me just tell you guys,
Yes.
you're going to get a bonus episode of The Friend Show. Because that's what this is. This is The Friend Show.
This is the Good Friend Show.
It is.
Yeah.
And, sometimes the Camp Goosebuds are longer than this show. It's $5 to hop on board. Just going to lay this out there for folks. If you want more of The Friend Show and you want to be sitting in with The Friend Show, experiencing The Friend Show as it happens, Camp Goosebuds, baby, $5.
There you go.
And we'll find a way to get me in there one day.
I know.
You're going to get in.
Oh, you're going to get in that. You're going to get all up in that.
We're figuring it out. Hey, you guys didn't ask me what my spookiest bone was.
Oh, yeah, Paul, sorry. Please, what's your spookiest bone?
I think it's a baby tooth.
Oh! Oh,
What
my
are those
God.
things up for? What are they up to, man? They just steal your calcium for a couple years and then fall the fuck
And
out.
then they're pushed out by other teeth. That's real spooky.
What's their deal, dude? What's their game plan?
What?
Yeah,
Why do we have 2 sets of teeth?
because you have a
Yeah.
little mouth when you're a kid.
No, but like, why don't we just get new teeth every year?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Are those teeth just in there all the time waiting to emerge, or do they grow inside you and then come out?
I
Oh, it's all
don't want to
scary.
know the answer because it's going to scare me.
Either way, your gums are either growing teeth. This is the least
Ew.
educated thing I've
Little-
ever said. They're
little
either growing
pockets of
teeth.
bone.
Yeah, there's like little pockets of bone. Or as a baby, there's other teeth growing up in you. And then when their time has emerged, like cicadas, they emerge and push out the other ones.
Ugh.
Teeth are gross.
Scary.
Magic
scary.
mouths.
But if we had like 50 sets of teeth.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be useful.
I'd eat so much candy then.
I'm going to throw this out here. Dentists are keeping us from evolving to the next stage of humanity where we do have that. Because we have dentistry, right? Like, there's no need for humans to
third
evolve to a third row of teeth and then on. We got to get rid of dentists. They're holding us back.
I'm on to you, ADA.
Hey, ADA, you told me to floss? Guys, I've been flossing a bunch. More food just gets stuck in there. What the fuck? Like, it's more and more food.
You're creating more food room. Is
I'm
what
creating
you're doing.
food opportunities for flossing. It's a giant endless cycle.
They got you. 88.
I'm real mad. This has been Goosebuds.
This has been Goosebuds.
It's been Goosebuds. Any other parting comments on this story, guys?
It was good. Thank you, R.L. Stein.
Thank you, R.L. Stein, for this gift upon us.
Yes, I'll have to concur. It was good. And, yeah. What do we got next? What's the next one?
We got
what is the next one?
Oh, guys, next one, I'm real excited. Attack of the Mutant.
Oh,
what? I don't remember that.
yeah.
That is the
at all.
comic book one. I'm real excited.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's book number 25.
He was trying to get in on that X-Men action that was going on.
Yeah. We'll also probably hit yourself with another give yourself Goosebuds or Gholastic Book Club, one of those kind of things.
Yeah,
Real soon.
that'll be next.
That'll be next. But next up, the next main story, we'll definitely do Attack the Mutant. Guys, why don't we wrap this up?
And folks, if you can't afford the Patreon, which not everyone can do, another great way to support Goosebuds is by leaving an iTunes review. Mm-hmm. And we're going to read a couple right now. What do you say?
I think
Let's
that's a
do
great
it.
idea.
Okay, I got one here. This one is from Hunt Soda. It's titled
Okay.
Holy Moly. Molly? Mole? I don't think they weren't quite certain how to spell moly.
I saw
Sure.
that one. If I were going to spell it anyway, because you can choose whatever one you want, MOLE, like the delicious sauce of
Oh, I'm so
Mexican.
hungry right now. That
Hey.
sleepy chocolate sauce. Put me to bed.
Holy moly.
Holy moly, folks, this show is great. A candid, funny look at one of my, but to be honest, our favorite juvenile book series, and one that has wormed its way into how I think about stories and writing. It's an easy listen, and reading along isn't too much of a commitment if you're a stickler for things like that. Those books are shorter than you remember. I promise. Really, I mean, it sounds like Hunt Soda really reads along, so props to Hunt Soda. You
That's
don't
great.
need to read along, but, you know, he does.
There are people who actually read the books. God bless you. It's awesome that you guys read these along with us.
Yeah,
It's
'cause,
very
like,
cool.
Very religious man.
Very religious. Well, my God is the one true God, and that is Monster Blood. But yes, that's who I worship. Don't persecute me. I have a review. I'll read. It's called "Better Than Getting Steak Sauce on Your Hangdown." 5 stars by Mr. Littlebit, and he writes. This podcast has enough bad children's writing to rock you to sleep and enough funny commentary to entertain you while you're awake. Chad, Dom, and Paul dive into these children's horror books more deeply than perhaps anyone should, with hilarious results. Their loving irreverence to the author, mixed with a no-holds-barred attitude for comedy, creates what I am proud to call my favorite podcast.
Aw,
Absolutely
wow.
5 stars. Thank you, Mr. Littlebit.
That's so sweet.
Very
That
sweet
is very
of you.
nice.
Yeah, very nice.
I've got one here from White Sox 7. He says, Goosebuds is far from Goose Duds.
Oh my, we should patent that.
Yeah,
TM.
that's going on the poster for the movie they make about us. I've been a fan of Continue Show for years and even got my girlfriend into it, which I read this one a little earlier, and I think it's cool that so many people have gotten their significant others into our shows.
Yeah,
and
you're
it's
sitting around the
a
fire,
relationship thing, yeah.
holding hands while we talk about mud dicks. It sounds great.
It's beautiful. I'm proud to say that we both listen to this show now. This show is a great mix of nostalgia, both the old novels and TV show, mixed with some great humor from 3 dudes and sometimes a guest with great chemistry. The general banter at the start reminds me of the old Continue Cast show, RIP. I hope the show continues to grow. Thanks for the hours of entertainment and keep up the great work. Kyle from Chicago.
Oh, thanks,
Thanks,
Kyle.
Kyle. That was very nice.
Also, props to you for being a White Sox fan in Chicago. That takes
Yeah.
that takes some balls. I admire that. Well, thanks for the reviews. And like Dom said, it helps us out. It also helps move us up those iTunes charts and have new people discover us. So that means a lot. You can also go and talk about the show on our subreddit on reddit.com/r/goosebuds.
Or you can tell a friend if you can't use a computer too good.
Tell
Your friend.
Tell a friend. Oh, tell them on Twitter, maybe. We're on Twitter at GoosebudsPod.
And maybe you've got a son that can do it for you.
Maybe you got a son who's just starting to read.
Have
Great
him,
idea. Get him to read the Goosebumps. He'll get into this podcast later.
and then
I
he'll write the
seats.
review for you.
I thought you were
Yes.
going to say just play this podcast above your pregnant wife's tummy, like a baby genius or baby Einstein record.
Yes.
And
No, baby genius. No.
but it'll make them smarter, and they'll listen to it in the womb and become smart.
I don't know how that's not real. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you for listening. Also, thank you so much. We never give him enough props to the man who wrote all of our music and theme songs, Mr. Seth Ernest. You can check out his music on sethernest.net. Boys, I think that's it, right?
I think
Just shout out to RL.
Oh, my boy RL.
Just wanted to give a shout out.
Real
Shout
good job
to
on this
Stein.
book, hiring another writer to really kill this one. You did a good job, RL. He's
Man,
never
R.L. Stein is going to like tombstone you when he sees you, Chad.
He's going. No, I think he's going to have like a tombstone vision where he just kind of like looks at you with such disapproval that you just turn to stone.
I think he's going to take. I think he's going to take off his hats and bats are going to attack you.
Guys, I think this has been Goosebuds.
It has.
Thank you.
All right, bye, guys. Love ya.
Bye. Guys, we couldn't do this show without the support of our patrons on Patreon, and you guys are awesome, and you deserve a little thanks, so we're going to do that right now.
Thank you to Asim Zaman.
Steven, Jive Turkey Kuwabara. Kuwabara.
Thank you. Thank you, Termialmers, to Judgment Day.
Constantly evolving name. Kale Clinton.
I'm going to just say this person's name is Sips.
Victor.
Stephen Daniels.
John Jimco.
Brandon Raudenbush.
Yes. Nicholas McCaskey.
Gabriel Garcia.
Fausto Hernandez. That sounds like the Phantom.
Oh man, he's here. He's watching.
Oh, that's the play they're doing, Faust. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Ah, we're smart. Taylor, bring back old Snickerdoodle Shedden.
Brian Hopgood.
Matthew Stevens.
Fangirling with Mel.
Ryan Knocker.
Jennifer Britton.
Eric England.
Donko 8.
Thank you, Christopher Matalib.
Yeah, that seems right.
Matalib.
Yeah. Bean Daddy Wilkowski.
Danky McStanky.
We have the best fans.
Yeah, I do.
Just like Hollywood _
Paul Walker.
Sarah Kemp.
YT Chan.
Zachary J. Boyce.
Matt Flanagan.
Jubs.
Grady Wakeman.
The Rupel Productions.
Thank you, Mayor Negatorium.
Welcome to my lair, the Negatorium. Joshua Lopez.
Jordan Winkleman.
Scaboosh.
Hi, Reposo.
Martin A. Macias.
Thank you, Daniel Calais.
Ballpark Frank. I love that
Hell
name. That's my old
yeah.
porn name. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Kenneth Tyler Burns.
Madeline Volker.
Jim Greaves.
Jean-Luc.
Natu Pearl Henderson.
Christopher Boyce.
Hollis Hornbeak.
Turtle Mancer.
From my lair, the Negatorium, I am Turtlemancer. Jeremy Stacy.
Zachary James Boyce.
Walter Frazier.
Ryan Fisk.
Ford Theater Reunion.
Sean Lyons.
Cameron Murphy.
Paul Grasso.
Ben Bueller.
Michael McDowell.
Nick Hayes.
David Cron.
David Lee.
Zane Keefe.
Ryan Kolka.
I'm a Kevin.
Sven Stormbeard.
The battler who's come to the Negatorium.
To
Fight the Turtlemancer.
Joshua P. Robertson.
Tim I. Healy.
Ed Burdick.
David Cole.
Aaron Manchester.
Alan M.K. Jenkins.
Mickey C.
Dapio.
James Romano.
Fernando Espindola.
Jared Mason.
Kevin Boucher.
Taylor Dirks.
Derek Dalton.
Jonas Blatterman.
Grace Nicole.
Matt Sadler.
Nick Kinkle. Sorry, I'm thinking about Jonas, and I'm thinking, my name is Jonas.
Benson P.
Brian Fernetten.
Fred Atkins.
Glenn Eisenhuth.
Jacob Dow.
Will Scott.
Nathan Dolezal.
Clayton C.
Mike Lanteri.
Kyla Thurp.
Buddy Morrill.
Chris Birch.
Joe Scott.
Taggart McStone.
Friend of Stormy.
Josh Ellen Bogan.
Slaughter True Crime Podcast.
Ooh, that sounds spooky.
Yeah, what a good way to get like advertisement for your podcast. I
Yeah,
like
why
this.
not?
That's a great idea.
Andrew Jason Santos.
Lendl Martin.
John Keedy.
Ronald King.
Ryan Wade.
Zachary Lawson.
And Heath Robinson. Thank you guys all so very, very much.
We love you.
Love ya.
We love you.
Bye, guys.
My name is Jonas.
My name is Jonas.